Guys, what's going on? Guys, before I get into this video, smash the like button. As you guys know, smash that like button, hit that like button, share the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel, as you guys are all aware of. So guys, this Canelo Ryan Garcia stuff, it doesn't look like it's stopping. Canelo blasts Ryan Garcia back and he says he's ungrateful, he's accomplished nothing, owes Reynoso money, and he won't beat Tank. Wow. This is unbelievable stuff. This is what we call drama, pure drama. And, you know, this gives people like myself, YouTube content creators, a lot to talk about. And it's kind of funny at this, you know, at the time when these guys are going back and forth. Let's see what Canelo has to say here. Okay, he goes, he's just mad for something. He's no longer in the team. He was always going to be versus us no matter what. But he's a little kid. You need to understand him. He needs to learn a lot of things. My advice to him is to do your job, focus on your career, win world championships first, then talk about other people because you've accomplished nothing, and you start talking about fighters who've accomplished a lot. When I was a 20-year-old, I was a world champion. Wow. You can call out everybody and say, talk and everything, but at the end of the day, you are doing nothing. It is what it is. We need to understand him now that he's no longer with the Canelo team. He's going to talk mad bleep about us. It's fine. But he needs to remember how much Eddie did for him. A lot of things. He and his father still owe money to Eddie, and Eddie doesn't say anything because he doesn't need it. Wow. It is not fair that he's talking bleep about everything in the camp. He came to my gym and we showed him love and support. He then goes and says anything. He's not grateful. When a person is ungrateful, it's the worst thing. Aside from the wrath, Alvarez still supports his former teammate. Of course, I will still root for him when he fights. Why not? Yeah, I'm not jealous. I just wish him all the best. Why would Canelo be jealous of Ryan Garcia? Come on. Garcia faces Javier Fortuna. I don't really think so. Garcia can beat Tank. Not yet, said Alvarez. If he puts his mind to boxing and tries to learn everything, he can do a lot of things. He has a lot of talent. So if you look at this, interview, Canelo again is not hating on Garcia. He's actually speaking facts, because let's be brutally honest, Ryan wouldn't beat Gervonta Davis, you know. And I want to address Michael Parsons, one of the guys that comes on my channel and gives his opinion. I criticized Gervonta Davis yesterday for his opponents, and you said, well, Gervonta has fought a lot of... What fighters has Gervonta fought? Gervonta's fought nobody. I've looked at Gervonta's record. He's fought nobody. Pedraza, Leo was a small guy, you know. But when Canelo fights Amir Khan, who was also a very good fighter at the lower weight classes, people say it's a cherry pick. You know, when Canelo fights Kovalev, who was way bigger than him, he's older a little bit. Oh, he's washed up. You see, Gervonta Davis has fought no one. He fought Gamboa, old man, really old man. You know, and you can't compare Canelo's resume to Gervonta. It's chalk and cheese. But back to this, is what Canelo's saying about Ryan, I don't see what he's saying wrong. He's being blunt about it. The stuff about owing money, I think, oh, that's a, you know, if Ryan owes Reynoso money, he's right. Reynoso ain't going to care. Reynoso's a very wealthy man. You know, he's got Canelo with him. He's not going to say anything. He doesn't really care. But again, we don't know if Canelo's adding extra, if he does owe Reynoso money. But I don't think there's any need to say it, because it's not like Reynoso needs the money. But at the end of the day, if you've got an agreement with someone and you need to pay them, then you should be paying them. You know, it's not a case where that you should be allowed to get away with something like that. Because if you had an agreement with another man and you owed him a certain amount of money, you need to be paying him that money. Do you know what I mean? You can't just get away with it just because the guy's rich. No, the guys did a job for you. So I agree with everything Canelo's saying here, majority of the things. I don't think he said anything that I disagree with. He's basically saying, why are you coming and talking rubbish when you were in our camp? We did a lot for you, which he probably did do a lot for Garcia. Now, Garcia said on the other hand that Eddie wasn't always there. He was busy. But you decided to go there. And the reason why you decided to go there, because you know that the environment, the fighters that were there would help you. And also, Ryan Garcia, in my opinion, was in a stable where he had a lot of other good fighters where he wasn't getting that star treatment, which is good for somebody like that because he needs to learn to stay grounded and get. And I think that's a great environment because Ryan Garcia could have tried. The motivation was to try to be like Canelo and become the star. You know, and he already had a massive leg up because he has a whole huge social media platform. So Canelo had to build himself to get to where he's got to. Ryan Garcia already had a huge social media. Ryan Garcia had a head start in terms of commercial, the commercial side of things and his popularity from social media. So if Ryan can really fight, right, and Ryan can, you know, dedicate himself, he has got talent. It's not like Ryan Garcia is a bum. No, Ryan Garcia can fight. He's got talent. He's got speed. He's got power. He's got things that you can work with and improve. You know? So Canelo's right. He has got talent. But can he beat Gervonta right now? No. In my opinion, I think he would lose. So Canelo's right there. He would lose. Not because I think Gervonta is just a more polished fighter at this point, and I think Canelo's right there. But you know, Garcia does a lot of talking, but the thing is, that's part of Garcia's image in the sense that Garcia's trying to build his brand. You know, this isn't just about boxing for Garcia. This is about building his profile. This is about building his social media platform. So even if he fails in boxing, that he can make it through social media, which he can now. You know, Garcia doesn't even need boxing now. He could probably make it through social media and become a social media star. You know, that's Garcia. But Garcia wants to be a fighter. Garcia is a good fighter. And let's hope under Joe Goosen, you know, Garcia can get his head down and Garcia can start pulling in, you know, basically putting in those performances against top tier opposition. You know, there's not a lot of people that have a lot of confidence in Garcia. They think that he's a talker. They think he's a social media boxer. He needs to prove to the world that no, he's not a social media star. He's a boxer. And I believe he is. But it just depends on how dedicated he is to his craft in order if he's going to reach that next level, because boxing's a very tough sport. It's a very, very tough sport. If you're not dedicated, it doesn't matter how talented, how naturally talented you are, you are going to fall down the wayside. So Garcia has got a golden opportunity. Garcia is a very, very good fighter. He has got talent. Canelo's right. Canelo's hitting and he's right. He has got talent. But it's whether he can convert that talent. The only way he's going to convert that talent is by dedicating himself. Boxing is a very, very tough sport. Very tough sport. It's not easy to make it in boxing. So if Garcia can do it, kudos to him. But it's going to be tough. And the only way he's going to do it is by dedicating himself, getting his head down, which I believe under Joe Goosen. Joe Goosen's a no-nonsense type of trainer. Maybe Joe Goosen can take him to that next level. We just have to wait and see. But this stuff has got a bit mucky between Alvarez and now, you know, Alvarez even saying that, you know, Garcia owes Reynoso money, which is kind of funny. You know, not funny because he owes him money. If he owes him money, he owes him money. But the fact that it's not been paid and the fact that Canelo's brought it up when he didn't really need to, and you know, I'm pretty sure Reynoso's not short of a few quid, so he's probably not bothered. But I think Canelo's made some good points here. I'll go back to what I said yesterday. I do think that Ryan Garcia shouldn't be disrespecting Canelo like that, irrespective of what Canelo's saying. I don't think you should be respecting one of the best of your generation. I just don't think you should. And that's just my honest opinion. It's different when you're promoting a fight. This isn't promoting a fight. Canelo and Ryan Garcia are never going to fight. Their weight classes apart. So this is a guy that's 23 years of age. Like Canelo's right, you haven't achieved anything yet. And you're talking rubbish about me. But that's the younger generation, because Ryan Garcia, in his head, forget boxing, Ryan Garcia thinks he's a star. So how can anyone talk about me like this? Because in Ryan Garcia's head, he looks at, I've got 9 million followers on Instagram. I'm a star. You can't be talking to me like that. That's the way because Ryan Garcia in his head thinks he's made it. I told you about the Khan talk yesterday where he was talking about Khan as if Khan was like he was an all-time great. Garcia was an all-time great and Khan was a nobody. When out of the two, only Khan's been world champion, not Ryan. So, and then he made an excuse about the fact that, well, I'm in a tough division, and he hasn't got Matthew Hattons in his division. But you could have fought Devin Haney. You could have been a world champion, legitimate. You could have beat if Ryan Garcia feels he beats Devin Haney. So I don't understand his point. And all of the guys in his division are all kind of like they're not accomplished. They're not like they're legends there. They're all young like him. Devin's young. Devin's around the same age. Kambosos is young. You know, they're all around the same age. It's not like we're talking about one guy's accomplished. I'm in a tough division. Who's there that's tough? Kambosos was a champion. Teo was champion. These are young guys. What have they done? They just had one good fights. Devin Haney's not had 6 or 7 top fights where he's like a legend in the game that's done so much, you know, like a Mayweather or a Pacquiao. This is a guy that's fighting in a division where there's a lot of people like him. They're trying to prove something. And Devin went and proved himself. But prior to fighting Kambosos, people were saying Devin was an email champion. So Ryan Garcia could have fought that guy and beaten that guy. But he didn't want to take the chance. Or his Golden Boy, his promoter, didn't want to take that chance. So when you talk about being in a tough division, I don't think it's that tough. I think there's guys there that are talented, but they're unproven. Lomachenko's the most proven out of them all. And he's got losses on his record. So, again, that shows he's beatable. So, the point I'm trying to make is Garcia hasn't really... Garcia said, I'm in a tough division. But you haven't had any of those tough fights. So, it's not like, yeah, you've had those fights. You've not had any of those fights. You're kind of cherry-picking at this point. You're not fighting the champions. Because your promoter or you or whoever don't think you're ready for the champions. So, I was a bit surprised by those comments. That him saying, because Canelo was in that division where he fought Matthew Hatton for a vacant title. But let's not forget, at 23, he also fought Lara. I mean, not Lara, sorry. He also fought like guys like Josecito Lopez. You know, guys like that who were good fighters. So it's not like Canelo was fighting nobodies. Canelo was fighting good names. Let me actually get it up. Let me actually get who Canelo had fought. I bet you Canelo's resume was not even comparable, even at 23. He fought Mayweather at 23. So let's see. Let's go back. Okay, so he fought Mayweather at 20. So let's look at from the Kirkland fight, because he would have been around the same age then, because that was 2015. So that was 7 years ago. No, sorry, 8 years ago. So he fought Kirkland 8 years ago. No, sorry, 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, Canelo's 31 now. He would have been 24, right? So he would have been 23. So Ryan's 23. So 2014, he fought Lara, right? So at 23 years of age, Lara, Angulo, Floyd Mayweather, Austin Trout, Josecito Lopez, Shane Mosley, Kermit Cintron, Alfonso Gomez. And then look at this. He fought Ryan Rhodes, Matthew Hatton, Lovemore and Du, Carlos Baldomir, and old Carlos Baldomir. That's Canelo's run. Jose Miguel Cotto in 2010. So from 2010, that's his run. Look at the names. So from Lara, right, all the way to Miguel Cotto in 2010, right? That includes Floyd Mayweather, Josecito Lopez, Mosley. I know some of these guys were old, but this is the run that Canelo had. Ryan can't compare Canelo's 23-year-old career to his. It's not even comparable. Look at the names. Austin Trout. He fought Austin Trout. Guys like Austin Trout, Lara, Angulo, Mayweather, Shane Mosley, Ryan Rhodes. You know, these are the names these are good fighters. Solid names. You can't compare. Shane Mosley, yeah, Mosley was old. It doesn't matter. He's still a good name. You know, Luke Campbell was nowhere near the fighter that Mosley was, and Luke Campbell was past his best. That's the only name on his record. You know, Canelo at 23 fought way better fighters than Luke Campbell. Champions. You know, Shane Mosley, yes, he wasn't a champion at the time, but Jose Soto Lopez was a champion. Austin Trout was a great fighter. Austin Trout was undefeated when he fought him. You know, these are guys that, they only had a couple losses. You know, Lara had, prior to fighting Canelo, had one loss. You know, this is what I mean. Like, I feel like you can't compare the resumes. It's not comparable. And that's just my opinion. So Canelo, look at Canelo, the names that I just read off there. Compare that to Ryan's record. It's not even comparable. You know. Canelo's resume at 23 is better than Tank's. It's as good as better than Tank's at 23. You know, and that just tells you all you need to know about Canelo. You know, so you can't compare, you know, Canelo at 23 to Ryan at 23. It's just not comparable. That's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, bro. Let me know what you think. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.